Turning 35 is when your body starts making random noises, and your bank account should stop making excuses. If your money still acts like it's 21, we need to have a serious conversation. Welcome back. Today we're breaking down financial goals at 35. This is the age where you're no longer figuring things out. You're either building momentum or quietly falling behind. No pressure, just reality. We're going to cover what you should aim for, what actually matters, and how to course correct if things aren't where you want them yet. Let's start with the reality check, because at 35, your finances are no longer a rough draft. They are a working version of your lives. In your 20s, mistakes are expected. You try things, you learn, you adjust. But by 35, your habits have had time to settle. The way you earn, spend, save, and invest is no longer temporary, it's your default setting. And that's where the wake-up call comes in. If you've been consistent with saving and investing, you're starting to see progress. Not overnight success, but real movement. If you haven't, the gap becomes more noticeable. Not because you failed, but because time is now a bigger factor. This is also the stage where responsibilities grow. Housing, family, career pressure, everything gets more expensive and more complex. Which means your financial system needs to be stronger, not reactive. The goal here is not to panic. It's to get clear. Ask yourself, do I know where my money is going? Am I building anything long-term? Or am I just maintaining my current lifestyle? Because at 35, financial progress is less about dramatic changes and more about consistent direction. This is your checkpoint. Not to judge yourself, but to decide if your current path actually leads where you want to go. Let's talk about one of the biggest traps at 35, income versus lifestyle. By this age, most people are earning more than they did in their 20s. Promotions, job changes, side income, it all adds up. But here's the problem. For many people, their lifestyle rises just as fast as their income. This is called lifestyle inflation. You make more, so you spend more. Better apartment, nicer car, more eating out, more I deserve this. And before you know it, your bank account feels exactly the same as it did 5 years ago. So the question isn't just, are you earning more? The real question is, are you keeping more? At 35, your financial growth should not only show up in your lifestyle, it should show up in your assets. Savings, investments, and net worth should be moving up, not just your monthly expenses. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy your money. It means you should be intentional with it. Upgrade your life, but don't upgrade yourself into being broke again. A simple rule: every time your income increases, a portion of that increase should go directly into investing or saving before your lifestyle adjusts. Because real financial progress isn't about how expensive your life looks, it's about how strong your financial position actually is. Here's something that's not exciting but absolutely critical at 35, your emergency fund. At this stage of life, surprises don't get smaller, they get more expensive. Car repairs, medical bills, job changes, family responsibilities. Life has a way of testing your finances when you least expect it. That's why your emergency fund should be solid. Not I have a little saved somewhere, but a clear, dedicated safety net. The general rule is 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Enough to cover your essentials if your income suddenly stops. Rent or mortgage, food, utilities, your core survival costs. Why is this so important? Because without it, every unexpected expense turns into debt or stress. And stress leads to bad financial decisions. An emergency fund gives you breathing room. It buys you time to think clearly instead of reacting under pressure. And here's the key: it's not an investment. It's not meant to grow aggressively. It's meant to be accessible, stable, and ready when life happens. At 35, this is not optional. It's foundational. Because real financial progress isn't just about growing wealth, it's about protecting it. And nothing protects your financial life better than knowing that when something goes wrong, you're already prepared for it. Do you have something that's quietly slowing down your financial progress at 35, like debt? Not all debt is equal, but high-interest debt is the one you want under control. Credit cards, personal loans, these don't just sit there, they grow against you. While your investments try to build wealth, high-interest debt is working overtime to take it away. At 35, debt should not feel like a constant weight. You should either minimize it, structure it, or on a clear path to eliminate it. This doesn't mean you need to be completely debt-free. A mortgage or low-interest loan can be manageable. The key difference is whether your debt is controlled or it is controlling you. Ask yourself, do I know exactly how much I owe? Do I have a payoff plan? Or am I just making minimum payments and hoping it goes away? Minimum payments keep you stuck. They stretch your debt over years and cost you more in interest. A simple approach is to focus aggressively on high-interest balances first, while maintaining minimums on others. This reduces the overall cost and speeds up progress. Because here's the reality, every dollar going toward interest is a dollar not building your future. At 35, financial growth and unmanaged debt cannot coexist for long. Control your debt, or it will quietly control your progress. Let's talk about retirement contributions, because at 35, this is no longer something you plan to start soon. It should already be in motion. Retirement investing works best with time, and by 35, time is still on your side, but it's no longer unlimited. The earlier years were your biggest advantage, and now consistency becomes your strongest tool. At this stage, you should be contributing regularly to retirement accounts. Not occasionally, not when there's extra money, consistently. Whether it's a 401k IRA or another investment account, the habit matters more than trying to time the market. If your employer offers a match, that's not a bonus, it's part of your compensation. Not taking it is like leaving money on the table. The goal isn't to hit some perfect number overnight. It's to steadily increase your contributions as your income grows. Even small increases over time can have a significant impact because of compounding. Also, keep your strategy simple. A diversified, long-term approach is more effective than constantly changing investments. At 35, retirement isn't tomorrow, but it's no longer distant either. What you do now has a direct impact on your future options. Because retirement isn't just about stopping work, it's about having the financial freedom to choose what you do next. This is something that sounds simple, but most people avoid: knowing your net worth. At 35, you should not be guessing your financial position. You should know it clearly. Not roughly, not "I think I'm doing okay." You need actual numbers. Your net worth is everything you own minus everything you owe. Your savings, investments, retirement accounts, minus your debts like credit cards, loans, or mortgages. Why does this matter? Because income tells you how much you earn, but net worth tells you if you're actually building wealth. You could be making a high income and still have a low or even negative net worth if your spending and debt are out of control. On the flip side, someone with a moderate income but strong saving and investing habits can quietly build a solid financial position. Tracking your net worth gives you direction. It shows progress over time and helps you make better decisions. If the number is going up, you're moving forward. If it's flat or going down, something needs to change. And no, you don't need complicated tools. A simple spreadsheet or app is enough. At 35, awareness is power. Because you can't improve what you don't measure, and your net worth is one of the clearest indicators of your financial health. At 35, do you have an investing strategy? This should no longer be random. You should have a clear, simple portfolio. Not random investments collected like souvenirs. If your portfolio looks like a collection of things you heard about, that's not a strategy. That's financial guessing. At this stage, your investing approach should be clear, simple, and repeatable. You should know what you're investing in, why you're investing in it, and how it fits into your long-term goals. For most beginners, this means focusing on diversified investments like index funds or ETFs. These give you broad market exposure without relying on picking individual winners. Consistency matters more than complexity. Regular contributions, staying invested, and avoiding emotional decisions will do more for your portfolio than trying to outsmart the market. You should also understand your risk level. If market drops cause you to panic and sell, your strategy is too aggressive. A good strategy is one you can stick with during both good times and bad. And here's the key: stop constantly changing direction. Jumping from one trend to another creates confusion and slows progress. At 35, investing should feel structured, not chaotic. Because a strong investing strategy isn't about excitement, it's about building wealth steadily over time with a plan you actually follow. Here's is something most people ignore until it's too late: insurance and protection. At 35, your financial life is more complex. You may have dependents, a mortgage, or a growing income. That means you're not just building wealth, you also need to protect it. Start with health insurance. One unexpected medical event can wipe out years of savings. This is not optional. It's your first line of defense. Next is income protection. If you rely on your paycheck, you need to protect your ability to earn. Disability insurance is often overlooked, but it's critical. If you can't work, your income stops, but your expenses don't. Life insurance becomes important if someone depends on you financially. The goal is simple: if something happens to you, your family is not left struggling. Also consider protecting your assets. Renters or homeowners insurance covers your living space and belongings from unexpected events. Here's the mindset shift: insurance is not an expense you hope to use. It's protection you hope you never need. At 35, one major setback can undo years of progress if you're not prepared. Because building wealth is only half the equation. Keeping it safe is what allows that progress to actually last over the long term. Now let's talk about something that quietly shapes your entire financial life: lifestyle alignment. At 35, your spending should reflect your priorities, not other people's expectations. But many people are still making financial decisions based on comparison, social pressure. Nicer car, bigger apartment, more expensive habits, just to keep up with what they see around them. Here's the problem: misaligned spending creates invisible pressure. You earn more, but it never feels like enough because your lifestyle keeps expanding to match it. Lifestyle alignment means being intentional. It means deciding what actually matters to you and directing your money there, while cutting back on things that don't add real value. Maybe you value travel, flexibility, or investing for early freedom. Or maybe you value stability and owning a home. Whatever it is, your spending should support that, not compete with it. This doesn't mean living a restricted life. It means living a focused one. A simple way to check alignment is this: look at your last few months of spending. Does it reflect your goals? Are there spending that you have no clue what they are or why you spent them? At 35, clarity matters more than ever. Because when your lifestyle and your goals are aligned, your money starts working with you instead of against you, and progress becomes much easier to sustain. 35 is not the deadline, it's the checkpoint. You're not late, but you also don't have time to stay passive. Your financial progress is no longer about guessing, it's about direction. If you stay consistent with saving, investing, and protecting what you build, your future becomes more flexible and secure. You don't need perfection, just steady decisions that move you forward. Small actions today shape your freedom tomorrow. If this gave you clarity, subscribe for more real-world financial strategies that actually move your life forward. Like and subscribe. See you in the next video.